Hi everyone, happy Thanksgiving. Welcome back. I know we're gearing up for Christmas. And of course, I'm your host, Isha, your favorite licensed therapist. Today, y'all, we are going to do a little Q&A, right? Questions that are coming up for licensed therapists. I thought that would be really cool to do today. Honestly, it's real. Like the people that they're finding are the normal, right? Where these are people who are having a hard time partnering, right? And you see why on full display. And so I know we look at this and we're like, oh, this is so entertaining, this is funny, this is a lot. But there's a lot we can take from it. Like we're seeing people fall out over finances, learn their attachment styles, not know how to communicate, you know, not just not know how to show up in a relationship. And you have to think about the type of person that needs to go on the show to be successfully partnered. And so I think we can learn from them, absolutely learn from them. And of course, entertaining as hell, like very entertaining. So I'm not against it. I like that we are seeing the human condition on full display. But when I know people are like, I'm not like that, and we have more in common with these, the people that show up on these shows than we think. So be mindful of that. Well, I like this question. What made me become a therapist? I really want to be genuine. I don't want to. I don't want to be. I don't want to be cliche. That's the thing. I don't want to sit up here and say, oh, I knew from a young age it was my calling. I didn't know I wanted to be a journalist or Judge Judy, though. Those were the two choices. And then I was a McNair Scholar. And if anyone knows, Ronald McNair, he was one of the first astronauts, black astronauts. And he had a scholarship program in a few schools. And basically, it was encouraging minority populations to go get master's degrees and eventually go on to get their PhD. That was like the whole premise. And I was like, okay, like I have to pick a project. Literally watching Oprah, and she was talking about the state of the black family and just how important it was, and how not kind of having the support a lot of the two parent household was making us fall behind. And so I thought, well, what if I help to fix families? And that became my thesis, and I never looked back. So thank you, Oprah, I guess, for that. Why therapy sessions so expensive? So therapy is expensive because, like everything else in a capitalist society, it's like the bigger you are, the more resources you are, the more money you have, the harder it is for everyone else. And these insurance companies, unfortunately, do not pay, right? Or they want to do this thing where they pay you, but you have to have the notes have to be up to date. Everything, you have to have a diagnosis. You literally have to play by the insurance company's rule. And so I really want to be free of that. I think I studied really hard, and I don't want someone to tell me that I need to give you a diagnosis that I don't agree with so that I can get paid. There are a lot of therapists that are on insurance panels, so definitely seek them out. But they make it very, very difficult to be reimbursed. I imagine you had a session a month ago and you're still waiting, right? As much as people are talking about mental health now, they don't necessarily make it easier. I haven't seen anything come out that makes it easier for people to access or for therapists to give the services. And so I guess the long and short of it is the economy, the market economy that we're in, really, really, really kind of boxes the smaller people out. And, let's be honest, therapists are not going to get rich unless you're like Esther Perel or, one of the major, major, major like voices in therapy, and they're not even rich. So it's very concerning. It's completely concerning. We're very angry. we are all the things. We're very angry. We're very anxious. Um, we're very depressed. We are not dealing with life well. When we look at social media and what it has done to society in the last decade, it's insane. And so I think what I'm most worried about is the anger. And it lends to feelings of hopelessness. Like, I just feel like there's just like a hopeless feeling in there. Like, nothing is great. Nothing is going to get better. Everyone sucks around me, you know. And social media, like, if you sign on, I almost feel like everyone's complaining. And these aren't, some stuff is first world problems, but overall we can categorize issues that probably aren't unique. And it's almost as if you go on and it's like, is there a way out? And I don't know if I feel that just by scrolling. Another thing that I'm really concerned about is the effects of COVID on mental health. How we have become so antisocial, right? Like, we kind of hide behind the screen, but as far as like in person, like, people can't hold conversations anymore. You know, I used to love to have intellectual conversations, dig deep. I don't know if that's really valued anymore. So I'm very nervous, and I think the best thing to do is really take your mental health into your hands, because no one's coming to save you. Really try to advocate for yourself, because useful skills that you can learn to be. I like this question. I do. The number one thing I think you can do to help with your anxiety is to have control over your breath. And now I know that people are like, breathing, that doesn't do anything. It does. When you learn how to truly breathe from your diaphragm deep, it helps with anger. It helps with slowing things down. Learning to meditate, learning mindfulness, taking deep breaths. That is enough. If you can perfect that, you're golden. Ooh, this is going too, y'all. Y'all, listen. Questions. So couples fail after therapy typically because they're not being honest when they come in. Like, they're not really trying to work it out, right? I think it's more of, I check this box. When someone asks me when we're separated, hey, did you guys try therapy? Oh yeah, we did. It didn't work. Check. And right. And so I would tell people, like, it's not always appropriate. Like, if you know you don't even want to work, right? Because therapy sessions are work. You have to do things together. And you have to work really hard to rebuild the connection. And if you don't want to, or you hope the therapist can say the magic word to make you snap out of it, it's just not a thing. It's just not going to happen. So people aren't honest about why they're truly coming. And the answer should be, they're really coming to work. They're really coming to resolve the issues in the marriage, or make a decision to walk away. But they want to make sure that they tried what they could. Really try. So that would be my number one answer. Of course there's others, but I think that's my number one answer why so many people say they go and it doesn't work. Absolutely. Should you limit your social media? I cannot express this enough. Please put a limit on your phone. No more than an hour. The app, I think they're all harmful in different ways, right? I really like LinkedIn though. LinkedIn seems calm. Nothing too. It's very professional, and you literally log on maybe once a month and feel like you caught up, right? So it's not this overindulgence. Instagram makes people feel like they're behind. So that does a number on them. Steals their joy, right? Because comparison is a thief of joy. Facebook cultivates some of you know, cultivates community, which is great, but sometimes if you're in the wrong community, right? I feel like Facebook is the platform that you could be bullied on. TikTok will bombard you with the same thing over and over and over again, the same videos, right? So it can really send you into kind of a tailspin. OnlyFans, like I feel like we can keep going. I feel like they all do something a little bit different. But overall, the consumption should absolutely be limited. I wouldn't even say one is worse than the other. Like I think they're all bad, minus maybe LinkedIn. Yeah, I like this question. The other words we really need to look up that we use too often: narcissism, toxic, boundaries, and abuse. I see this being misused all over the place. Like I feel like, I love that we're learning these words are coming up. They're really important, but we really need to understand the definition. Just because you don't like what someone did doesn't mean that they're narcissistic, doesn't mean they're abusive, doesn't mean they're toxic. Yeah, I encourage everyone to look up the definitions and know those words for yourself. Yeah, this is my favorite question too. I don't know, they're all my favorite. So the signs of a healthy person is someone who has a secure attachment style, someone who doesn't let their past trauma kind of dictate their future, someone who takes accountability and can admit when they're wrong, and someone who can embrace change, right? Often looks like someone who doesn't keep knocking their head against the same spot, will adjust to get to where they are. And so there's probably so much more, but that comes to mind when I think about someone who is secure, where mental health is not their number one struggle. That was fun, y'all. Thanks, that was fun. I had a good time. I should do another Q&A, but hopefully that helps somewhat, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.